Hey guys. Let me set you guys up. So you can see everything. I might move you guys around a little bit. Oh. Throughout the live. Hi, Don. Hi, Mia. Hi, Sweet Kay. Hi, Susan. Hi, Sue. Okay, I think that will be good. Whew. Everyone can hear me? Hello from Orlando. Let me look here because I can't read it fast enough. From Greece again, hello. Oh, Gloria, you're too kind to me. Love you, lady, I miss you. It's pronounced Maya. Okay. Maya it is. Thank you for letting me know. I like to get people's names correctly and I struggle with it, so thank you. Hello from England and Germany and Georgia. Glad you could be here, Zoe. You guys, the humidity is about 67% here today. So I'm sweating bullets, but we're gonna try. I put the top end of the egg white powder in my recipe today. I have my air conditioner going and I am hoping that we can have successful character macarons today. But it'll be a surprise. We never know, right? I'm sorry, I didn't have time to eat lunch. My mom is like my saving grace these days. She took the kids out for a big walk. So they might come back in at some point, but she's trying to stay out till 3. But they were leaving and my dog ran out the door and we had to go chase her down the street. And, just nerve-wracking morning. Okay, Zoe. Sorry. Let me not talk with my mouth full. Yeah, Zena, you're not late at all. Oh, thank you. I know, I can't believe 11,000 subscribers. It's like amazing. And we keep growing and it's very fun. I just wish I had more time to make videos because I want to keep putting them out, but these lives are perfect for being able to interact with you guys. Today, because of the humidity, we're going to do Swiss preparation. But I'm going to have just the regular French method that we use based off of Indulge with Mimi's recipe. So that's what we're doing today. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, I will say the recipe as we go. Yeah. Susie, I'm scared too. I like sweating. All right. Thank you so much. Let's see. Shabahangi. Did I say it right? Love your newsletter. Oh, thank you, Annette. I've been trying to keep it short and sweet, but it keeps going long. So my apologies, but I love to be able to follow up with you guys because I get such great questions and sometimes I don't answer them properly or have enough time to visit all of them. So my goal is to, each week, if something big comes up that I missed on the previous live, to just revisit that, research it, and be able to give you guys some information. So last newsletter, I gave you more information on egg white powder and cream of tartar and just how they work in our meringue. And it was cool to revisit that because I totally forgot about the, I guess that egg whites are 90% water and 10% protein. It was just really good to revisit and kind of realize what's going on in our bowl when we're whipping our meringue. Yes, we might have some people that defend that 1-0 for macarons. Okay. Oh, thank you, Courtney. That is very kind. Okay. So, vegan recipe, please. I'm telling everyone, because it's gonna take me a while to get to vegan, I'm telling everyone to visit Pies and Tacos. Camilla's vegan macarons look amazing. She has a video on her YouTube channel. So Pies and Tacos. Go check out that if you want vegan macarons, because I've got a list running long for things I want to do before I try vegan, but I'm dying to do it. I just got my cannelé molds, one of the cheaper ones. Yes, her chai macarons. Oh, I have to check them out. She says she has like 80 different flavors. I need to check all these out. Her creativity blows my mind. But I just got cannelé molds and beeswax, and hopefully we'll be able to do cannelé sometime. I have not done them since pastry school, so it's been a decade. So that I will have to try at home first before I do on a live, probably, even though I haven't done pumpkin macarons or navy. I haven't ever done navy macarons, and I'm doing that color because someone asked for how to get deep colors. So I'm going to attempt a navy color today, and we're gonna make pumpkin macarons, which I haven't done for a year. But I have my template from last year, and yes, so for the cannelé molds, I just did the cheap version on Amazon. I'll show you guys. I could not get myself to splurge the $20 to $30 each copper tin. So I got these cannelé molds, like a cupcake mold, right? I'm skeptical, but I've heard great things, good reviews. So we'll see if it can give it that great bake on the middle. And I got beeswax, all from Amazon. And if they turn out well, I'll link those in my storefront, but I need to try them out before I refer you to them. Let's see here. Hi, Leah. Okay, so one more thing. People have been asking me about my sifter, wondering how fine it is, and it's really hard for me to tell. Like, I don't really know how to measure. I didn't have some type of number when I bought this. It was a super cheap purchase from Target. I don't even know the brand, to be honest, but it's not super fine. I don't have one on my Amazon storefront because it's so difficult to tell in the picture what the level of fineness it is, and I would hate to put something on that is gonna cause you guys a lot of work. Hi, Kevin, to push your almond flour through. So as of right now, I'm sorry, I don't have a suggestion on a sifter, but just get a cheap one. Go to Bed Bath & Beyond. I feel like they have the best options, and it really isn't that fine. I have one from Sur La Table that has an extra wires going through, and you can't fit anything through that. It'll take 30 minutes to sift your almond flour. So get something a little bit wider that won't, like quinoa won't fall through it, but your almond flour will. Okay, let me start. Oh, thank you, Gloria. Said my kitchen is gorgeous. Thank you so much. It's nice. It's right situated by a window, and it feels open. It's just a little galley kitchen, though. Okay. What almond flour do I use? I use Diamond, Blue Diamond. I was trying to think. Blue Diamond almond flour. I have found success with that. I used to use Kirkland. You could use that as well. However, it's been a little funky ever since last May, I want to say. I've gotten some weird batches, really coarse, grainy batches, so I've switched. Okay. Yes, okay. Sue, yes, I'm still offering, so I have one online course happening next Monday. I just sent out the ebook for that to the 8 people that got the spot. I'm only doing 8 people at a time just to see, it's a Zoom platform that I'm using, so I wanna be able to make sure I'm paying enough attention to each person. So it's gonna be a while till I get comfortable and see if that works and how to roll out more classes and more options. But I'm hoping to do that as we go through this fall. And my kids are starting school, so I need to figure out what that looks like, and then we'll continue. Okay, so we have 80 grams of egg whites. We're doing the French recipe that I usually use based off Indulge with Mimi, and then we are going to heat it up and do a Swiss meringue preparation because it's really humid out here and I'm nervous and I wanted to take all the precautions. I feel like the 2 times I've done Swiss method, it has made my macarons dry quickly. Maybe because there's that extra moisture that's getting released off when we're heating it up on the stove. So, trying Swiss method today, but with the French recipe. And we're gonna make navy blue pumpkins. It sounds weird, but I showed my inspiration picture on my newsletter. If you guys got it, they could be really pretty. If we have time, I'll use some Sugar Art Gold and we can dust our stems with gold and make it a 2-toned. But I'm not going to split my batter and try to do that today. Oh, cool. Awesome. Someone asked about where they can find information on the online course. If you subscribe, I'll put a link in this video, or you can go to the last live. I have a link in that video. You can click the link in the description of the video, give me your email address, and then you'll be in the know of the newsletter. You'll get the newsletter weekly of more content that I put out, and when I put out more classes. Okay, so let's heat it up, and then I'll talk a little bit about Character Max while we're heating this up so we can get started. So I'm gonna move you guys down a little bit so you can see. It's crooked, huh? Okay. So when you're doing a double boiler, you want to just bring it to a simmer, and then you're going to put your bowl into the pot. You don't want this bowl, you don't want the bottom to be touching the water, so make sure your pot is small enough to hold your bowl high enough off, and don't fill your pot with too much water. You don't want a boil, you just want a simmer going on, and the steam is going to heat up your egg whites, and it's going to allow for your sugar to dissolve, and this helps with the structure of your meringue. So here is my 80 grams of egg whites, 72 grams of sucrose or granulated sugar, and I used 3 grams of dried egg whites in here, and they're mixed in so they don't clump. I am going to pour it all in and mix it up with my whisk. And then we're gonna heat it until it's 50 Celsius. I forget what that is in Fahrenheit, but I don't wanna ask my Alexa over here because then it turns everyone's on. 50 Celsius, I think it's like 120 Fahrenheit maybe? I could be wrong. Zena, I'm sorry. You don't need to do this. It's just really humid here today. This is not necessary. I'm just trying to take the precaution to try not to get cracked macarons today, because Character Max in general crack more because you have different, you'll have areas where it's weaker if you put like 2 different colors or something, and you want to make sure they're dry in all the crevices. So I am going to try to just make sure that doesn't happen today. But after last week's live, I don't want cracked macarons again. So we'll see. Caitlin, I know. I really don't want everyone's person to go off. So you know what I'm saying. So, my kids they think she's the funnest thing ever. So I don't like her listening to us. Okay, so we're at a simmer, and I'm gonna turn it down now to low heat so it stays at a simmer and doesn't get hotter. I'm putting my bowl over the double boiler, and I'm just gonna continue whisking. You should not let this just sit without whisking. You don't want scrambled egg whites, so continue to whisk the entire time. Then we're gonna move over to the hand mixer, and we're going to mix it up, and I'm going to attempt to get a navy blue. I just opened up, I happen to have this navy blue from Chef Master. Never used it before. So I don't know how it works. And then I was thinking we might need some powder color too, so I have the Sugar Art Black, and we'll see if we can keep a dark, rich color, rich, I don't know. But I've actually never tried navy before. I've had some black macarons look navy, but never attempted navy. Okay, so let me get my thermometer, and we're gonna see where we're at. We're only at, it's so cold in my house. The eggs at room temperature were pretty cold. We're only at 27. So let me talk character macarons really fast. I wrote some stuff down because I always forget what I want to say. So this is my notes. I'm so unorganized. Okay. So when you're making character macarons, you want to choose a design or a template that is appropriate for making macarons. If it's too pointy, it's gonna burn in that area where you pipe. So make sure you have a nice rounded shape of whatever you wanna do, and that will help with the baking process. Make sure when you're also doing macarons that you have the appropriate sized tip. So if you're doing a small details, use small tips. You might have different colors. Don't use your large tip and then have your batter go all over the place, and your character macaron will not look very nice. So appropriate size tip and appropriate template. We're at only 35. Okay, what else do I want to say? You still want to pipe at a 90-degree angle to make sure you get that foot, because the batter is gonna spread, and you want to be able to not get your mat of any kind, your silicone mat or your parchment. You don't want it to be obstructing the feet. So you want to make sure you're still at a 90 degree so it can kind of settle how it usually does when you're doing circular macarons. There are two different ways that if you've seen my heart video on YouTube, I show you two different ways of doing a character macaron, and it's either you can outline it and then fill it in, or you can do little shapes that make up your larger shape. So if you saw my blackberry macarons, I did little dots everywhere and filled them in, starting from the outside in. For these pumpkins, I'll demonstrate both so we can see what I'm talking about, because it might be hard to understand. We're at 40. All right, what else did I say? Like I said earlier, you want to make sure they're dry. Yuki, you might be better than me at, you probably are, I should say, better than me at character macarons. I don't love them because they make me so nervous. If you guys have seen my work, I like to call myself a clunky chef. I don't have like those fine details. I don't have the patience for fine details. So usually my designs are very large and not needing too many small details. Yeah, it's just not my thing. But I love like Honey and Butter and all those places that do the amazing macaron, the character macarons. It's just blows my mind. So this is my little knowledge on what I have done on character macarons. We're getting pretty close here. We're trying to reach, what was it, 50 Celsius? Yes, 50 Celsius. We're at 45. And what else about character macarons that I want to say? Oh yeah, there's also different techniques you can do with your design. You can do like a wet on, kind of like royal icing. You can do a wet on wet batter design where it sinks into your macaron and it will be one-dimensional. Or you can wait till one part dries and then add another color. So you let the base color dry and then you add like your eyes or something, or your ears, whatever on top. Okay, we are good to go. $47. All right. Now I'm going to switch to our noise maker. And I'm going to switch you guys over a little bit too. Okay, good. Okay, ready? So I'm not going to try not to talk during this time, and I'm going to turn my mixer on at the lowest speed possible, which isn't that low on a hand mixer, but we're going to do it anyways. And then we're going to slowly make our way up to make sure we're making a sturdy meringue. We are nowhere near a stiff peak, but I'm going to add some black coloring just to get a base of a dark meringue, and then we'll add our navy blue at the end. So I'm gonna do a chunk. A chunk is very descriptive. Thank you, Mia. Okay. Turn it up to speed 2. So we're getting there. I'm just gonna add in, we're at stiff peaks. I'm gonna try this navy color and see if we can get there with this. I didn't have any 1, 2, 3 drops. I'm really stingy with my gel colors. Let's see if it does the trick. Maybe too much black. Let's do one more. Healthy squeeze. That was 2. All right, humidity and extra gel. So we're at a stiff peak. It's not as blue as I would love, but if I'm mixing and I feel like we could add a little bit more, I will. Probably put too much base of a black, but the goal for when you're doing darker colors is you need to mix some colors. You probably need to have some black in there or your black cocoa powder, but I didn't want these to be chocolate. Doing a mix of colors will help. Yeah, I kind of like them. They're very fall, but I want to achieve a navy blue, so we'll see if I feel comfortable. Someone asked about, oh, what was it? I saw up there. Someone asked about something that I was gonna answer. Oh, the marbling effect. If you look back at one of the lives we did here before, we did the kind of toothpick technique where you just drop in 2 colors and then spread it around at the very end of macaronaging, and that worked really well. We've seen it on the Sugarholic Girl, Jaslyn's YouTube channel, as well as Sugar Bean. Okay guys, now my meringue is sitting. We're gonna put in our Dries, which is 104 of both confectioner sugar and almond flour. This is sifted once, and I do it the night before usually and let it sit out at room temperature in a covered container. Sometimes I'll sift again over it. It's looking a little chunky, but I'm not doing that today, I suppose. Nice spatula with whatever you prefer. Some people really like a nice bendy spatula. Others, like me, I like a sturdy spatula. All has to do with your preference. So I'm just mixing in a little bit at a time. Another live, I want to do the test where you put the meringue into the Dries, because we looked at that last live and the results were pretty awesome, and I hear that's what Valda does, bakery. So we could try that and see if it works. What do you guys think of this color? Can you do the head trick? Did I miss which character? We're just doing a simple shape today. We're doing pumpkins. So I'll show a couple different ways of piping pumpkins. I've got water on my arm. Don't drip into our batter. Yeah, we're just doing a pumpkin, so a shaped. Not truly a character today. I'm not gonna put faces on them. But if you look at my Halloween, I have a really quick time-lapse video on here. It has my Halloween characters from last year if you wanna see how I pipe those. And then you don't have to be here for 2 hours too. It's very fast. Okay. I love the color. What was the blue? I used a navy blue from Chef Master, and black from the Sugar Art. So I'm just kind of doing the normal thing. Some people are new, so I apologize. I forgot to explain how I'm folding in the Dries. I just go around my batter and over, and then I cut through the middle, and then around and over, and always kind of scoop up from the bottom of the bowl so you don't have Dries laying around. So I'm making quite the mess with my hand, but at this point I am not deflating on purpose. Like a little bit will be deflated, obviously. We're putting almond flour into a meringue. It's gonna deflate. My least favorite thing is when I'm making Swiss meringue buttercream and you have that beautiful Swiss meringue and then you throw the butter in and it just deflates. I'm always so sad, but it's worth it at the end because it's delicious. But anyways, this is deflating just naturally, but I am not trying to deflate it at this point. That is the point that I'm trying to make. I kind of like it. I kind of like the color. Okay, so now I'm going to deflate purposefully. How you do that is you're gonna press it out. I don't know if you can hear, but you can hear the air being released. It's so cool. Press it out, go around your bowl again, and go from the bottom and around. So you want to make sure you're pressing out the gas or the air that we just put into our meringue. We're going to try to press it out to the right consistency, which is that flowing consistency that we hear about when we make macarons. I might regret this, but I think I'm gonna put one more. I don't know. I think I'm gonna put one more drop of blue, because this is pretty, but it looks more like a gray. Stop me, someone stop me. More stiffer than, yes, add blue. Perfect. Okay, 1, 2, we're doing it. Okay. Yes, the batter gets a lot stiffer, I've noticed as well, when you heat it up. It's the same recipe, yet we are heating that up and it really changes how it behaves when you're folding. So we're gonna have a little bit more, I need to do a little bit more mixing before I'm deflating now, because I put that in and I want to evenly distribute the color. If you put color in at the end like this, try not to deflate too much. So just kind of mix it and kind of cut it in, and then don't purposely deflate. Okay, so, excuse my hand. Now I'm deflating again, pressing the gases out. I love watching macaron artists who deflate it against the walls. I think it's so soothing. I don't do that. See, I'm like that. I'm clunky. That's how I describe myself. Clunky. Okay. So let's check out our consistency. When I'm making character macarons, I make sure I don't over deflate because it's gonna spread, it's not gonna keep its shape, and you won't be able to have a character macaron. I've said before that I try to kind of under deflate or under mix, but I don't really think that's true. I think it's just being super careful to get the right consistency. It's almost there. When I'm close, I kind of just keep fussing with it. Instead of deflating it, I just keep folding it on itself. Because if you're still deflating, it can go real fast to too much. I like this. I think this is good. So let me see if I chose the proper tip for this. We should be okay. I have a 9mm in here. A 6 might be even better because I'm doing a stem, but I'll try to make it work. Make it work, make it work. Okay. Is yours grainy at all? Mine is grainy. You can see like the almond flour bits, but I wouldn't call it grainy. I think it's just almond flour. I'll have to, let me see. Do you think it's grainy? Let me know. Oh, from Brazil, hello. Thank you for watching. I'm going to put this bad boy in our piping bag. When I'm piping character macarons that are really big, a lot of the times I prefer parchment. I know that sounds counterintuitive because silicone holds the shape really well, but I feel like parchment bakes the larger ones better, and I trust it more to develop feet on. So if you struggle with silicone mats and character mats, you could try parchment. I feel like sometimes I get better luck with that. Today we're using silicone though, because these are not big. So, is the color still navy? Yeah, it's supposed to be navy. It's like a dark blue. I think it looks very similar to the pumpkins that I put on my inspo on the feed, but it was a little black. Maybe even if I didn't do so much black, I wonder what just the straight navy blue would have looked like, but because I've never used it. Okay, so my template. I just trace on parchment and I use that. Hello from Pakistan. Your question, have you tried store-bought egg whites? I have. They work fine. You have to make sure that they will whip. Some will say that they don't whip specifically, so you need to be careful. I would always get Easy Eggs from Restaurant Depot, and it would have a whipping agent in them. When I'm doing my classes, I'm recommending no one use carton egg whites though, just because they do take longer to mix. It's easier if you're not well versed in macarons. It's easier to have cracked macarons and not have a strong meringue. So I don't recommend them if you're learning. Okay, let's try to pipe these. Let's get you guys close. And I'm going to show you the different methods I said in the beginning. Let's see if I can get you guys to not fall over. Well, it wants to fall. Okay, so I'll go like right here. Okay. So 2 different methods, like I said, is doing an outline. Oh, you're falling. All right. Let's see here. I know that's annoying right there. Okay, let's go right here. Okay, you can do an outline and then fill in, or you can fill in the sections with parts, like I said. So let me show you. Here, let's do the outline first. Try to keep at a 90-degree angle. And I'm just going to, oops, I forgot I was doing the outline part. Okay, guys. So that is more like doing 2 little circles. You're gonna want your scribe at this point. Oh, you guys fell. Okay, sorry. I might not be able to get you so close. Okay, so here's, Okay, sorry guys. Let me try this a different angle. Sorry. Make sure that's not too hot. I don't know if we're calling me an old woman, but pretty much. Okay, ready? So let's try that. Okay, so I did the part. Woo! Dang it! I'm sorry, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. This is getting annoying. All right, here we go. So let's do the outline. I have too big of a tip, like I said not to do, for the outline, but let me do it again. So we're going to go around, and then we will fill it in. Okay, and my tip is way too big to do this, so it's not getting like the nice little kind of butt look that I want for the pumpkin. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna actually show you guys how to do it the other way. So let's clear it up. That's a fine pumpkin, but it's not gonna match up with my actual template. So we're going to, let's see, can you see here? We're going to fill in one side, 90 degree. We're gonna fill in the other side. And then go in the middle. I think I'll switch my batter to a smaller piping bag or a smaller tip, and then I'll do the stems. I love that I told you guys what to do and I didn't do it myself. Okay. Your scribe will be your best friend. So we're gonna do fill in half and then fill in the other part. Now if you have too small of a tip, you're gonna wanna make sure that you let it all kind of flow out and not cut off the flow, if that makes sense. because your macarons will get really thin if you have a small tip and you're not used to piping with a small tip. Okay. I've also seen from last year's content, if you guys know Bella Bakes, she did just 2 circles, and I'll show you guys that. You can choose whatever works for you to fill in your space. So let's see, can you see here? Yeah, okay. So it was just like this. Circle, circle. And then you use your tip to sort of, it looks funny, I know, but just make sure you don't push down right here on the edge, and everything in the center can kind of be moved around. And once you have the general shape, you can kind of push your batter around to make it fill out to be more of like a pumpkin. Thank you for reporting him. I didn't see what he was saying, but I appreciate you guys. So I'm gonna do one more like that, just so I have one that's similar so I can pair it up at the end. But you guys can decide what you like best. Let me see if I can get this batter into another bag, and I can show you the proper way to do the outlining part. All right. Let's see. Yes, I love it. You've gotta definitely be strong women and be community. Community over competition, isn't that the same? Okay, so let me keep doing this, and then I'll switch it to a smaller piping bag. What I like about pumpkins is that if you, like last year I did antique looking ones, and they were supposed to be textured, and so there's no, like I would leave them like that. I wouldn't even them out. Yeah, how do you do, I don't even know how to do a moderator. I want my husband back. People can be so rude. Yeah. The negativity is definitely something that makes YouTube hard. Makes me not want to come on here. But you guys are awesome, and I appreciate you. Okay. So, there's also another way. If you guys want separate, this takes probably too long for me, but if you've seen Macarons by Agatha, she does the 3 parts, and she will do like the 2, I think Macarons by, or not Macarons, Christina's Cupcakes. She does this as well, where they do all 3 areas of the pumpkin separate. So they'll let them, the middle part dry, or the sides dry, and then they'll do the last bit. Let me show you. I'm not making sense. So it's hard with too thick of a tip, but like this, and like this, and then you can let it dry, and then you can put the middle part in, and it will actually have more of like that 3D bubbled look of a pumpkin, if that makes sense. Okay, let me do one more of those, and I'm gonna switch to a smaller piping tip. All right, guys. I find it really hard to get matching ones, especially with a really big tip, to get these to match up if I'm not doing, I prefer doing parts, and I feel like I can find a mate really well. This part, I'm not precise enough. This part, I'm not precise enough. So, okay, let's do our smaller tip. This is when it helps to have a coupler. So, just so you guys know, I don't recommend this. It is going to work my batter more to push it through here. To push it through 2 tips, but I'm gonna try. So now I've got a 6mm tip, and I'm going to try, let's see, can you see this? 6mm tip here. I'm gonna do the outline, and I'll do the little bitty stems. Now, when you are, see, so there's a little outline. See if you can see. Can you see the little outline of it? So now let's fill it in. And you can kind of, what I like to do is I can push the batter on the outside, since it doesn't have a nice little crevice here. If you push the batter a little bit wider from the inside with your own batter, does that make sense? You can create more of that pumpkin look and then manipulate it in that way. Or you can take this and just make sure that you can't see that line still. I don't know if that made sense to you guys, but when I'm piping and I have an outline, I like to make sure my outline is smaller than the actual pumpkin I want, and then I will push it out a little bit more with my filling when I'm filling in. So that one does not look anything like any of the other ones. So pick one way and stick to it, because none of these are looking the same. Let's see here. Can a tip be known by a different number? Yeah, so Wilton has different tips with different numbers. I don't know what those numbers are. So I'm just gonna, can you see this one or no? Yeah. Okay guys, let's see if this is, okay. I'm gonna fill this guy in. That, and see, so one of these kind of pumpkins with the 3 different dimensions, or the 3 different like areas, you're gonna have to make sure that dries really well, or else that will crack right in this little crevice, because it's not open to the air as much. It's gonna take longer to dry. All right. So let me do some stems. Just kind of push it out. I think I just did this one. Let's see if it's dry enough to fill this guy in. So if you're doing another layer, like you were gonna give these pumpkins eyes, let them dry about 15 minutes. They don't have to be completely dry like you're gonna put them in the oven, but just enough where like I waited here to put that middle one in. And then you can add your eyes and it will stay as a 3D raised up image. If you look on my Halloween content from last year, I did little witch pumpkins, and I did on their little hats. I have a green line across. Whenever I have batter on top of my first base batter, I will play with it with my scribe to make sure it doesn't develop feet, because if this wants to try to develop feet right here, it's gonna crack. So I take my scribe and I kind of ruin the side so it doesn't crack. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay guys. Goth pumpkins, yes. With the gold, hopefully they won't look as goth-like, but we'll see. Kind of fitting for Halloween. You could also not put a stem on, or use different color, and just use candy melt for it, or fondant, or I've seen someone do a sprinkle, like one of those big jimmies. I don't know what they're called. I'm not a sprinkle expert, but I love everyone's artwork with them. But with those big fat sprinkles, they'll put in the buttercream, just one sticking out, and it was so cute. I wish I had a template. Oh shoot, you didn't make a template? Yeah. Definitely next time just print out pumpkins or something, because it really does help. Even with my template, I have not succeeded well with getting matching ones, if you see this. Okay. So, I've got a whole array of different pumpkins, and I feel like this looks more like the top on that one. Oh well. We'll put a little top. See, I kind of scraped, can you see here maybe? No, not too well. I scraped my macaron batter here, so I don't think my foot will develop well on the stem here. We'll have to check that out later. It's falling off. Okay. That does not. The stems, I don't like the stems on these ones. I don't know. I feel like maybe the stem is like already in it. This looks real silly. It looks like a bat. Now we have bats, creatures. Creature report. Okay, sorry. I don't recommend putting stems on these ones, guys. Okay. So let me just pipe some regular circles. Let me do some. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. I should have mentioned a template in the newsletter. What's your favorite way to pipe these, guys? Have the ones who are doing it right now, have you found a way that you like best? yeah, bat macarons. I really like filling each half of my pumpkin and then doing the same. So it's like an outline fill combination, like that. I feel like it's the easiest, and it's what makes the most consistent macarons for me, but everyone will have their own preference. These ones are already drying, so it's gonna be, and hopefully I'm not gonna have them dried too long. So, I would call those pumpkin macarons. That one catchphrase. Oh, cookie nibs, thank you. I'm always. Is it wrong that my business interferes? Oh my goodness, I love you. I like that we kept interaction as you tried Swiss method again. If you were late, then you probably don't know. I made this Swiss with the French recipe Swiss method again. So we'll see. These are resting a long time. We'll see if we have troubles. That was the thing we saw in our Swiss French combo last time, is when they rested too long that they got lopsided. So I'm going to keep my oven at a nice low temperature today to see if we can keep it from rising too fast and getting lopsided. All right, dudes. I am going to stop and try to put these in soon. Oh, don't worry about it, Zena. As long as we are having fun, I appreciate you being here. So 90 degree, and then just a little plop, and then you can kind of move it around with your scribe on the inside, not on the edge. Don't drag it on the edge unless you want no foot to develop. So the weak spots of character macarons, right here, right where you put something attaching. So like if you're doing bears and you have ears, like right here, bear ears, that's where they're gonna crack because they're not dried enough. So dry your macaron, character macarons well, but not too long where then you won't have, if you do it too long, then you'll get really fragile tops. So it's kind of a balance. Okay, I said not to add. I'm having a hard time listening to myself today. I don't know why that would have that there, but I did it. I'm the worst. I feel like I always get very secure with a certain shape right after the season it finishes. So don't feel bad if yours look similar to mine and they're all over the place. This is practice. I actually prefer to do the stem when they're wet, when it's both wet. So hopefully this won't be too weak of a spot. And I'm gonna turn my oven on and we're gonna bake. You know what? Someone asked what my tip brand is. Let me show you guys these, guys. I'm not doing a very good job. Okay, so there's our macarons. What is my, I don't know the brand of my tips. I wish I did. I got them in pastry school. They came in a little tin, and that's all I know about them. Oh, thank you. You're making me feel better because I do not feel like they look nice. But they just came in tins. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, guys. So if you guys are wanting a true navy blue, I recommend if you have powdered colors, you can just use a navy powdered coloring. There is a brand out there. I've seen someone just put in navy, but I don't know what brand it was, so it's not very helpful. I don't have a navy blue powdered color, so I used black, and it was a little too much to get a true navy blue. I like the way they look, but if you just wanted navy, I would search. I think the gel colors would probably not turn out as well as you'd like, so I would search doing, maybe you could even add some purple, I don't know. Black is what I would think, but it made it more gray, so you're just gonna have to play with colors. I know Macarons by Monique has like this, her colors down, she told me one time her ratios, and they were all gels at that point. So it will work with gels. You just have to kind of combine some black, some navy blue, and some violet too. I don't know. I'm not a color master. Look online though, they do have some really cool things where if you say like, I want this color, an online app or something will, this is showing my age, will show you like which colors you can add to make it that. So I think even AmeriColor does that, but you have to pay. So I don't know if you want to pay for them to tell you what to do, but okay. Let's see here. 90% humidity. Let me. Nice little Dumbos. Oh, that's cute. Little Dumbo ears would be so cute. Yes, that is so true, Cookie Nibs. Someone asked about temperature. You're currently doing your French method. Hirsch, she asked the recipe I'm using, and I am doing that recipe. However, I lowered my ingredients to a different ratio, but it's still those same ratios. So yes, I did that French recipe, but I heated them up on the stovetop. Okay, so today I'm going to heat my oven up to let's do 285. I think I set it at 285, and then I'm gonna put it down to 275 when I put mine in, just because I'm really worried about cracks. If we weren't on a live, I would wait even longer to put these in. However, I get anxious because I don't want you guys sitting around for so long. So the key with these is to feel, let me put you guys back down. An odd teal. Interesting. I used 3 grams of almond flour, 3 grams of dried egg whites. Let me show you guys. So what I like to look for to see if these are done is, so like this one's so ugly. These ones are so ugly too. Anyways, I'll go where they're meeting each other, and I'll feel there. So like this one that I did in the beginning is good. It's dry, it's matte. It's not shiny anymore like the newer ones. So I'm gonna let these get to a little bit more of a matte finish and not sticky right on this edge. They're sticking a little bit. So let's hold off for a second while my oven preheats, and then we'll put them in. I kind of like these ones too that we just did the circles, and it's really easy to pipe, but we'll see. And once we paint the tips gold, it might look a little better, but these are not, those are not fun. I think those ones would definitely be better with a Jimmy sprinkle as something or whatever. I don't know, as a stem, is that what they're called? The stem of a pumpkin? Okay, let me look at your guys' questions. And not be here. Okay. Is that good? Okay. Whoops. I got my black powder all over my countertop. You do not want to spill black coloring. It will get everywhere, and as soon as you mop, or it'll just be bright, whatever color you spilled. It is amazing. Oh, I forgot I still have stuff. Okay, so I guess I gotta pipe a little more. I'm just gonna do circles because we don't need to see the second tray. All right, my French steel pan I'm gonna use some parchment. This will help me see how the Swiss method behaves when it is a second tray too. I've been wanting to test it out. Okay, so let's see. Yes, always room for improvement. Somehow I got water on my parchment. Okay, when I do parchment, I'll do like a little dollop of daisy to stick it down. These lips I can't stand, so I have to, you can't pipe anywhere near them or else your foot will be not even. So I try to kind of set it up so I can do the middle part. So. I guess it does look a little grainy. Someone asked about the graininess as I push it through this small piping tip. Looks a little bit grainier than usual. I bought a dehumidifier on Amazon. I'll let you guys know. It's supposed to come on Wednesday. Since I can't really wait because of these lives until we don't have humidity, I bought it. And it's probably a necessary thing to have here in Portland anyways. So hopefully that'll help as we get into the rainy season, fall and winter and spring. Let's see. Okay. Okay, someone said, I'm gonna go back up. Let me put this over away from the heat, and then I'm gonna put the pumpkins in the oven. Okay, because I took so long to pipe, some might crack because they haven't rested as long, but we're gonna put them in. They're pretty dry, so let's see how our humidity affects us today. They kind of look shiny still to you guys because of the lights, but they're not shiny, they're nice and matte. Okay, cross your fingers. I put it on for 7 minutes and 7 minutes at 270, but we'll see what the actual oven temperature is at. All right, let's get to questions. Cookie Nibs, you don't want to see your friends, you don't want your friends to see your dark side. I love that. Okay, I missed a lot of things. Did you use, I think I said I used 3 grams of egg white powder in this. 86% humidity where Dawn lives. Wow. I get that 67 doesn't seem like that much when that. I've been monitoring the humidity and how it affects my macarons, and I feel like anything over 55% humidity will create some jacked up macarons. So hopefully when I get the dehumidifier, I can bake whenever I'd like. But for now, it's a struggle when the humidity is high. Okay. Oh yes, Florida is so humid. Dumbo ears. I made a pumpkin ganache. we'll see if we have time to fill and how we're doing with everything. They really... Yes, Annette, great point. She said she needs to get rid of her hollows before she tries character macarons. Not that you need perfect macs to try character macarons, but I definitely recommend getting used to circles before adding anything else. And that's why something like a pumpkin is pretty easy for, even though I didn't make it look like it today, but I promise you I was just very out of practice and not setting myself up for success with that huge tip. Anyways, something like a bear or a pumpkin is nice because you just do circles, or maybe like Minnie Mouse, and just make sure with the tips that I just said, just like make sure that it's really dry where the ears meet your main head of the circle, and you should be good. Okay. Is Brave Tarts marshmallow buttercream good for filling? Yes, it's delicious. It's cottage food approved. It's not as sweet as American buttercream, and you can add so many different flavors to that base and make it a really quick production if you just add like some strawberry flavoring to some of it, some Nutella to another, and you've got 2 different buttercreams from one batch. It's really tasty. Great for, I use it for my marshmallow macarons. In the little bags, I'll use, oh my goodness, Susie, that's such a good idea. She said she'll use little pretzel stick for the stem. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I just did the apple macarons. Some of you aren't on Instagram, but I used fondant. I just shaped, I think they're in my freezer. Sorry, guys. So I just did like a little fondant leaf and a fondant stem. Super easy. I am not a fondant girl, and that's like the easiest thing you can do. So far, no cracking, y'all. Happy dance, happy dance, happy dance, dance. I wish I could play music so we could all dance. Okay. Besides the shape of them, I'm hoping that they are okay. Okay. How do you get your macs to rise perfectly straight? Hannah, great question. There's a lot of things that go into your macarons rising well, and I've, at least in this oven specifically, I've noticed I've had to decrease my oven temperature. It's weird because at first I was tricked. At first I started at a higher temperature because I would love full macarons. So, you know, I always base my first trials in people's ovens when I was doing home kitchen lessons. I would start it at 290 or 300 degrees Fahrenheit, so about 150 Celsius. And then if they said that their oven runs a little hot, I would put it down a little bit and go from there. Either way, if your oven runs hot, make sure you have a low enough temperature, especially with Italian macs. I had to have a really low temp to have them rise up. I think I was baking at like 265, which seems low, but it really helped my Italian macarons rise. French is more about at 290, but in this oven I'm having to set it at about 280 to get it to 290, or else it jumps up. We've seen it jumps up to like 350. Either way, we don't want to hear about my oven, but You really have to have an internal thermometer. Make sure you regulate your oven temperature. Keep it around 285, 290. If you are getting a lot of lopsided, keep lowering it down a little bit. Don't over dry your macarons. That will create lopsidedness. And also, if you under dry your macarons, so as soon as they have that matte finish, pop them in your oven and hopefully that'll help. Don't have a fan, a ceiling fan on, because it can dry one side more than the other side. And also macaronage, if you mix your batter unevenly, it's gonna get uneven feet. I'm so wild with my hands. Okay. Let's flip it and reverse it. Let me see the questions in a sec, okay? Let's see if you guys can see. Sorry. Okay. I'll just put you on the ground like I have in the past. Ready? Oh, some of them are not rising evenly. What are we at in our oven temp? So we are at 305. I'm set for 270. I'm gonna do another 7. I'm gonna turn it down to 265. So they're rising too fast. Oh! Welcome back. They're rising a little too fast. So let's see how we do. And this is also Swiss method, so I'm not as used to how it sits. So it could be not so bueno for the, I was all doing my happy dance, guys, and now it's not even good. Okay. Stain? I don't remember what I was saying, but my oven rose up too high, so I turned it down. Hopefully we can get some magic to happen where it looks semi-decent. Okay, all lopsided, dang it. I was wondering, Naz, 1220, did you do Swiss method as well or French? Vent your oven, yeah, venting oven could help for sure. Let's see, maybe I'll just open it up, but it's a little too late now. It's too late. Okay, would you say it's necessary to flip the tray halfway through? Nana asked if it is necessary to flip the tray. And if you don't have a convection, I say yes. If you have a convection oven where you feel like airflow is really good in your oven, then no, you don't need to. But especially a gas oven, I feel like it's necessary. Thank you, Amy. I need an assistant. I was so happy when my husband had, he had a month off between residency and this fellowship, and we got used to him. It's hard to say goodbye now that he's back at work. But I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay. Didn't work. Oh no, what happened? Much love to you. Let's see here. Okay. Is it Paul? I forgot how to pronounce the name. Can we talk so much? I hate it. I hate that I don't know how. You said to say something specific last time. Was it just Paul? Okay, so you used French recipe with no Swiss, and you still had lopsided macarons? Oh, thank you, Zena. You're too nice. I think, That's what I get for eating. Oh my gosh. That's what I get. I'm really having trouble today. The box full of Macs should stay in the freezer. Rest in peace, camera, exactly. Yeah. So I keep my macarons in the freezer, yeah. I didn't eat lunch, so this is delicious. Do I have any tips about preventing? I'll put these back in the freezer. Preventing outward feet. Outward feet usually occurs when your temperature is too high or you have too much moisture in your recipe or environment. If you live in a humid place, it could be that. You could try a dehumidifier or running your air conditioner or something. It could also mean your batter is bad. Excuse me as I'm eating. Ugh, for goodness sake. Y'all, I'm really sorry for that wild ride today. Okay. I need to get an Archon mount or something, whatever those are called. Okay, spreading out feet is what I was trying to say. Too high of heat. If you're baking on parchment, you might want to try silicone mats. It might be a better fit for your oven. Or too much moisture. Let's go with that. Zero humidity is best for your macarons. You had your air conditioner on and everything. Dang it, Naz, I'm sorry. I wonder if it was macaronaging or if it was how it was piped. My shells get too soft. Sakina. But probably need, yeah, if you use less almond flour, so sugar usually will get like a nice crispness, right, when you bake it. So lower your ratio of almond flour and increase a little bit of confectioner sugar and just go from there. Hopefully that will help. Zena, I am actually giving away my pumpkin ganache recipe on my class. So as of right now, I'm not gonna give it out here, but maybe in the future. It's kind of like I have to make it worth people's money for the class, even though we get to have that experience of baking together. I also want to save some things special for them to have in the class that not everyone gets on these lives. You or me. Vanessa, you're welcome to your daughter. Now, I was wondering how many people are here with their kids because I wanted to do a kid-friendly, someone keeps asking for like brownies or something, a kid-friendly event of a live where we can bake with our kids. I know with schooling, it might be too much to have more online stuff. I'm just trying to make something fun for them. I feel so bad for all of our children doing virtual learning. It's just so much. So little interaction with people. Okay. Do we have to pay for the class? Yeah. So these classes that I'm hosting on Zoom are paid. It's $50 per person, and you get an ebook with ingredients I use, equipment that I have, and my favorite tools and recipes, as well as personal guidance through your macaron, so I can check on every step and see how you're doing, so it's easier for me to troubleshoot with you. Too young to eat sugar. Hey, you're better than me. John, what age is your child? JB Prince Teflon. I have my JB Prince pan that I'm using, and we will see how it works, but I'm using parchment with it today. I told him. That is awesome, Vanessa. My macarons are crispy before filling. Okay, 1 sec. Seven and 7. I forgot how big the feet get with the Swiss method. Maybe it wasn't best to do that for character macarons. Anyways, I don't know. Second guessing myself. 3 more minutes on the clock. 7 is 14, 15, 16, 17, and then I'll probably do a couple more minutes, and then we can see them. Someone said about too crispy before filling. They become too soft after. I don't know. That's interesting. Are you, let's see, Shay May, hopefully. Are you putting them in an airtight container? Is my first question. My second question is, what are you filling with? Is it like a cream cheese or a jam where it's really moist? It depends on what buttercream you're using. Someone asked, how long can I keep buttercream? But Swiss meringue and Italian meringue buttercreams freeze beautifully. I've had no issues with most of my American buttercreams, unless there's a lot of, like my lemon rosemary buttercream doesn't freeze as well because there's so much juice in it and it can crystallize a little easier. But, and the rosemary flavoring doesn't age well, so I don't like to freeze that one. But let's see, if you said what kind you're doing. There is such thing as too much drying, Lucy. Guys, I forgot what I was saying. Was I talking about maturing? No, I think. Buttercream. Yes. So you can freeze most buttercreams, especially if it's a base recipe, no added liquid or anything. It'll freeze great. Yeah, I guess that's, someone said I could sell my ebook too. Yeah, that's a good idea. How to cake it does when they have a paid live event. Oh, interesting. So if people aren't signed up, they still sell if they couldn't get it into the class, they still sell an ebook? Debbie asked, what brand are my tips? I don't know what brand of my tips are. They don't have a brand on them, but I do have some similar ones on my Amazon. Well, they're not cracked, but let's do 2 more minutes and then we'll check them out. Used to happen. So frustrating. Okay, let's see. What is... I think I missed some things, guys. Do I have merchandise? I don't. I don't have anything. I only have my Amazon storefront with just things that I like to use. Nothing personalized to me. Oven temp environment is different for everyone. Cookie nibs, I needed to do that today. I just needed to do regular French method. This Swiss, when it's just a regular circle, they have big feet, but they look really pretty and really full. But this character ones, they're like so big on one side and then not on the other side. Fan club. Oh my goodness. We're just Mac fan club. How about that? That's more comfortable for me. I think, yeah. Let's see here. Yes, Amanda, experimenting is the best. I really should have tried these out before. But that's the fun of the live, is remembering how it feels to pipe in different shapes. Is your storefront from Amazon in your news? No, I don't. I can definitely link the storefront in my newsletter if that would be helpful to anyone. It's a good question. Mac Fan Club, I love it. Thank you for these lives. I know. Honestly, I know we're all ready for this to be over, so it's really nice. I just want to be able to see you guys because it is awkward that I'm looking at myself on the screen right here. And okay. Yes, please link it. Okay, Don, I will write that down to link it. Link storefront. Next newsletter. Okay, if we are going to do a wet filling, you know, I don't like over baking my macarons at all. It just changes the delicacy of a macaron. If it's over baked a little, sure, you can try to fudge it, but I feel like it takes away some of the flavor too, having a little bit too much of that, not burnt, but overcooked almond flour taste. Let me see these really quick. What I would recommend if it's a super wet filling is if you can pair it with something. So if you want a jam, one second. Um, 30 more seconds. If you want to do a jam and you're making it, cook it a little bit more so it's less moist. If you want to do a jam and you're not making it, then maybe dam it with some buttercream. I know that's difficult if someone's trying to do dairy-free or something, but if the less jam you use, the better, but you still get that freshness of a fruit in the center. You could pair it up with something that isn't as wet. Or just make sure you fill your macarons and eat them right away. And then you don't have to worry about them getting too soggy. One can only wish. I know, right? Perfect macarons. Especially, I feel like on my lives. They don't ever happen. Hey, so if you're going to freeze buttercream, Max, do they go into the freezer immediately upon filling, or do you let them rest in the fridge? Lori, I freeze mine directly, and I will take them out a night before the event or whatever when they need to be eaten. The freezer, when they defrost, they do the maturing too of like a night. So it's almost like they've sat for 2 nights after a freezer. So I feel like you don't need to mature them and then freeze and then unfreeze. Just stick them straight into the freezer, take them out the night before, and that will do it. Okay, let me get to these ones. Let me put these in the freezer. Okay, so taking these ones out. Taking these guys out. I'm gonna put that second tray in after like 5 minutes after my oven regulates temperature a little bit. It's still at 300, it's running hot today. I have it set at 265. Let these cool for a second and then I'll take them off the mat. There is one pretty one that has feet all around. So that's always nice when that works out perfectly for a life. Okay. Hi, Nicole. Let me see. So even when my Macs come out lopsided, okay. I have an issue with lopsided, concave, and cracked macarons at rather low heat. So, Christine. Yeah, let's name the perfect pumpkin. I love that idea. When you're baking at a lower temperature, it is easier to get, or it's likely, if it's too warm or too cool, my goodness, to get a concave shell. So that means the bottom of your shell is gonna be not flush with the mat, and you get like this hollow, weird macaron. And it can be so deceiving because you can have this beautiful looking macaron on the outside and then lift it off your mat and it's concave. So that happens to me when I am doing too low of a temperature. I need to raise the oven temperature, and I get that a lot if I use Airbag trays with silicone mats at too low of a temperature. So that's one thing. You're saying that you need low heat though for your gas oven because then you get cracked macarons, right? Goth bat. You need your oven at 265. So, yeah, I know my oven is it really has been playing with me. It doesn't stay at a good temperature. It's pissing me off, to be honest. Okay. I like that, the great pumpkin. So, Christine, what kind of baking mat do you use? That's what I want to say. Okay, let me get the other tray of macarons and pop them in and see if we're just not loving Swiss method on a humid day. Let's see. Here we go. They're completely dry. They're probably too dry. I can imagine these will rise unevenly. They are very crispy already. Because of my, I'm gonna turn it down to 260 and we'll see. Because of my air conditioner, it just dries things out really fast, so it doesn't allow for me to have it sitting out for the second tray very well. Okay, if I did 300, it would give me, yeah, let's see here. Going back. I don't know if Christine is still here. I had asked her a question. Let's see here. How long can you freeze them for? How long can you freeze macarons for? So here we go, guys. Our bat macaron. Honestly, it looks so much like a bat. Let me get the good one. I really need to start baking more not on live so I can figure out my oven. Here's the good one. It's a pumpkin. So it has its feet all around it. This is where we pipe 2 circles. Plop, plop. This is one of them. Okay, the other ones, so none of them cracked, but I have no foot right here. So that's the problem. There's a gap, sizable gap. So not the best result. Can you see how big that gap is? No bueno. This one was on the edge. So let's see if it has a better inside. Not really. Sometimes my edge pieces, because it's hotter on the edges, they'll bake up nicer. Why the gap? Because of the no hate poor macaron. No hate poor macaron. I think I'm missing I don't know what I was saying. The gap usually happens when it's a lower temperature. It sits for too long, and or silicone mats aid in that. We had better luck last time with our Swiss method, but because I was fussing with the batter and not piping these very quickly, it could be from the sitting too long, because my oven was not at a lower temperature. So that's what I would say. Little soldier gap. I'm going to do max over. Do you think it could be done? I'm going to do max over the pan. What does that mean? Max over the pan. Melissa, it's a perfect little butt. Yes, it looks like a bottom. Oh, let's see here. Jan, I don't recommend putting, what was I saying? Leaving your batter in. Oh, well, now it decided to stay at temperature, and now it's at 260. So we'll see how these turn out. I don't know if we'll still be on, but let me think what I was saying. Oh, next Zoom class, I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna see how this first one goes, see what I need to troubleshoot and make sure it's the best experience possible, and then I can add more classes. So let me take these guys. Little dude. And we can really quickly paint the tip, and then we can be done. Make it look more like a pumpkin and not a bottom. So I like to take sterling pearl. It's too bright. Doot, doot, doot. It is a bottom, isn't it? Sterling pearl gold from the Sugar Art. Get a little, you could either mix this with Everclear vodka, but we do not keep hard alcohol in our house, so you could either use vodka, which I feel like works the best because it evaporates off and then you don't have any taste left over, or you can use lemon extract. This says clear vanilla extract, but it is not clear. We can all see that. So I prefer to use lemon. And then we are put a tiny bit in, mix it up with the gold. So can't get it to come out. Okay. I put a little bit of gold in, I'll show you. I can't believe I wasted my happy dance on this result, but here's the gold. It's not too much. Put like a tiny little drop of your extract or vodka, and we're just going to stir it up to make a gold color. Okay, and then with our gold coloring, we're going to just paint the stem. And give it some nice detail. You could paint lines down too, like to give it definition. like a pumpkin. And then we've got some edible dust. I think this is like Sugar Bell or something from Michael's. We're gonna spray it. I'm gonna spray it over my soap pat. Ooh, because it got a lot. And then it looks so shiny and pretty. So the details really make it look less like a bottom. And I'll do the lines, but I really don't trust myself. But what do you guys think? It looks a little better? Let me do a couple lines. Ready? Nicole's artistry right here. There we go. I tried. So I'm sure you guys are very creative and can do it yourself. But something like that, a little sparkle, a little glitz is kind of fun. Pairing those with different fall colors would be really pretty too. Doing a nice deep orange in this color and a straight gold pumpkin would be really cool. Let me switch this tray around. So these ones look nice, even after sitting for that long. So that's telling me either it's because my oven's actually at the right temperature and nice and low, or I love how macarons are like, well, it could be, or it's because of my piping on my pumpkins. I was very tentative when I was piping for you guys, so maybe I messed them up. Who knows? Art du jour. Oh my gosh. No. I would never consider myself an artist. Okay, let's see here. I missed a lot of your questions, I'm sorry. Do you recommend using an airbag tray? I don't like airbag trays with the French method. I haven't found success, but I know people who do and they love it. So to tell you the truth, it's whatever works with your oven. And you're gonna have to play with it and see if it works. I know Whisk, Tiana in Austin, Texas, she uses that combination and has great results. I do not get that great of a result in my ovens that I've had previously. The only time an airbag tray has worked for me with a silicone mat is when I'm doing Italian method, which is weird. Soft tops but full shells. Susie, did you have to rest a really long time? Sometimes I get that when I rest a really long time. Do you recommend using, okay, you said that. Someone asked if with the humidity level at 83%, if it's okay to bake. My thing with I've done it before. I've baked macarons, you know, when you have a lot of production, you can't really worry about it. And I just close all my windows, blast the air conditioner. However, you have to beware of your oven. When the pan is coming from a really cold environment and going into your oven, it shoots up. And that might have happened today because I'm blasting my air as well. So just watch your oven closely if you want to bake and you are able to have an air conditioner kind of dry out your environment inside. Close your windows, don't run your faucet. You can definitely do it. If you are still learning and uncomfortable with it, I would suggest waiting if possible, but it's not necessary if you think, like if you really want to do it. But just make sure your oven temperature is low enough to offset how much it will shoot up if you have an oven like mine and it goes way up when your pan's super cold. Won't let me send a super chat. Cookie Nibs, you already sent a super chat, didn't you? Maybe that's why. Let's see. High heat, but the concave is because of the low heat. Okay. I have so many issues overlapping. The cracked macarons happen because of high heat, concave because of low heat. Yes, that would be the reason. I'm trying to send another one. Oh man. Maybe it will only let you do one at a time. One per live or something. I feel like concaves would be the low and cracking could be high temperature, and it also can be your environment too if you have a humid environment. So it's not only, cracking doesn't only happen if you have too high of temp. It could also be that you haven't let them rest long enough, your moisture content is too much, like you didn't let them dry, or it's humid, or your meringue batter is not sturdy and it's not holding the pressure in when it's rising and it's cracking out. So it could be a couple of different things. Some bakers are not too opened during baking. Yes. Naz, I've heard that where like, no, you do not open your oven when you're baking macarons. It will deflate them. I have not found that to be true in my case. I even have to vent my oven sometimes where I have it open during half of the bake. So it really depends on your oven. Cookie Nibs, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. You guys, your generosity is, I'm very grateful for it, so thank you. Let's see here. Anyway, when your next video will be. So Courtney, an actual video where I edit, I have a couple things right now. I've got the live coming up that I really want to be on top of, and then I have my son's birthday and then my birthday. So we are going to be a little busy in September, but then I'm hoping to get into, let me see, I'm trying to get my next video out in like 3 weeks. 2 would be even better, but I'm trying not to set that expectation because then I get really down when I don't meet my goals. So I'm setting the bar low, trying to get the next video out in 3 weeks. Next week there will not be a live because I'm doing my class during that time. So we'll be a week off, and then I'll bring it back the next week. So in 2 weeks there will be another live. Thank you very much. Let's see, do you have a recipe for the apple cider buttercream you posted? I think I wrote it down. I kind of just eyeballed it. Thank you so much. Is it Charlene? I don't know what your full name is, but 5995, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. My apple cider buttercream was 113 grams butter, 157 grams 10x, so confectioner sugar, 21 grams of the ground up apples, about 2 teaspoons of Martinelli's apple cider. I think that's it. I think that's all I put in. What I like to do usually is Trader Joe's has an apple cider jam. It is so good mixed into your buttercream. And, oh no, I forgot cinnamon, and I did a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon and some other spice. Not cloves. Oh goodness, I'm drawing a blank. Cinnamon and some nutmeg. 1/8 of a teaspoon nutmeg. Okay. Yes, nutmeg. You had it. Okay. T. Morrison, I don't remember the brand of humidifier, but as soon as I get it and I try it out, if I like it, I will share it with you guys for sure. Naz, I feel like about 55 grams of egg whites is the lowest you should go when making a batch of macarons. Let me check these bad boys. These look much better. 55 grams of egg whites, and then it's 50 grams of sugar. And what was that? I think it was 72 grams of each almond flour and confectioner sugar. That gives me about 1 tray. Yeah. Let's see here. How do you confirm they are baked? So Deirdre, okay. When they're baking, I'll take my little guy. When they're baking, I will push down right here gently on the mat, and if they don't move and they're solid, then I know that they're done. If they still give a little bit and you can see a little bit of moisture in these little crevices, then they need to bake a little bit longer. However, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I feel like the Swiss method stays moist. I would like to, if like Cookie Nibs, I know you've been doing Swiss too and trying it out. Have you guys noticed that it stays a little bit more moist in the foot until later on baking? Like sometimes I even take them out before it's, with my French method, it's very easy to just push down and it's solid and it's done. But Swiss is a little bit more tricky for me because I'm not used to it probably. I definitely recommend letting your macarons mature after filling. I have said that I don't usually flavor my shells. I don't think it's worth it. I put out a pistachio recipe with pistachio flour in it, and it tastes amazing, and I really like just eating those shells by itself. However, if you're doing a business, I don't think it's worth it to spend money on almond flour and pistachio flour and hazelnut flour if you're doing that. So maturing your macarons is what makes that flavor of whatever filling you put in there. It seeps your flavor into the shells and really makes a cohesive, like one bite, delicious treat. If you don't mature them, you can get the filling squishing out the sides. It's more like 2 shells and a filling, whereas a matured macaron is like 1 cookie, if that makes sense. Oh, you always flavor your shells. Interesting. Yeah. With Zena, do you use liquid flavoring? Let's see. Marlies? Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. I've had great luck with Swiss method when I'm not on camera. And then whenever I tend to do them earlier in the day when there's higher humidity, I haven't had the best luck. So I don't really know if it's good for humid environments. I would think it was, and that's why I did it today, because I thought that it was kind of releasing even more moisture when I'm cooking it over the stovetop on the double boiler, right? However, Cookie Nibs, what are you doing? You've done too much. I'm like, thank you. Thank you so much. You're gonna cry. Oh my goodness. I don't even remember what I was saying. The Swiss method, I thought it would be better for this humid environment. I might be wrong, and or it might just be that I'm so used to the French method that that's just my go-to and easier for me, and I'm still figuring out. Don't cry. I'm just very appreciative. Thank you so much for spending those 2 hours when you have a break in your schedule to be with me and us in this community. Our Mac lover fan club or something? Mac fan club? Okay, let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Look at these feet. Can you see that? They're humongous. So with the Swiss method, I feel like they stay a little bit more moist than, oh. My kids might be coming back. Girls, quiet. So, one sec. Hi, guys. Hi. We're just ending. It's okay. With the Swiss method, I feel like it's harder to tell if be careful, this is hot, okay? It's harder to tell with Swiss method if my macarons are done in my oven. I don't know if you felt the same way, but that's how I feel. Yeah. My kids are probably too young for sugar, but they still get it. Susie, don't worry about it. Oh, Dora says hi. You say hi, Dora? Hi, Dora. She's right up here is the camera. She's too cute. Aw, thank you, Zena. Okay, so let me take off one of the Swiss shells here, and we'll see how those ones turned out, the circles. And then I'm just gonna really have to play around with Swiss method to be more of a teacher of it, because I thought it would be better today, and it wasn't. So, do you like it? Does it taste good, or is it not so good? I don't. She's not paid, you guys. Here, can I put you down so I can show them some shells? So here is a Swiss method on my blue steel, black steel. Oh, sorry, no? You guys didn't do well?
No.
Oh.
But we did good.
Can you give that to Nana, please? Nice and full. So they're a little underbaked though, it looks like. They might have not done well on their hike. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to go. Much love to you all. You like these feet, Dora? They're humongous, right? Hello, you guys. Yes, next time maybe she can. You're not old, Cookie Nibs. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for your generous donations. Much love, and I will talk to you later. On my newsletter, I will put it, if you aren't already subscribed, I will put it into the description of this video. If you can sign up for it, and then I'll give more of a conclusion on how this live went. Much love, everyone. Thank you so much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week.